All right, that was Miles Harris talking about the CIAA tournament, a special event that we do hope returns here to Charlotte in the near future. You may have noticed Nick Sturdivant out for a minute. Nick Carboni, sports director here at WCNC Charlotte, in the captain's seat. And we have a special guest today, very special guest, two-time Daytona 500 winner, back-to-back winner, and Charlotte native William Byron. William, thanks for stopping by the Impact Studio.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys.
We were talking about the bracket. I picked Liberty for fun. I know it didn't work out like that. How's your bracket doing?
Well, I didn't do a bracket this year.
You're a little busy.
Yeah, I was just lazy with it, and I feel like I didn't know enough about college basketball this year to pick. But I'm excited to watch the Sweet 16 coming up. So excited to watch those games. It seems like a lot of favorites in there. So yeah, I'm sure it'll be really competitive down the stretch.
On a busy weekend of sports, you guys are right in the middle of it, driving on Sundays. There's basketball games. Like in the fall, I know you're a big Panthers fan. Do you ever take a quiet moment on the track, like in a red flag or something, and ask for a Panthers update?
Yeah, I should. I think as I race more, I probably will. But yeah, I think definitely last year it seemed like they started winning right when the end of our season was getting going. So it'll be nice to watch this year. I'm looking forward to their season, seeing how they do.
All right, if you had to start a basketball team to get to the Final Four with Cup Series drivers, who's the top pick? There's not a lot of
myself,
hype. Okay, yeah.
But I would just say my teammates probably Kyle Larson, Alex and Chase. They're all doing really well, so that's the correct answer, right?
Yeah, exactly. Team first. All right, man, you've had a heck of a season. Being a Daytona 500 winner must be life-changing. What is being a two-time winner? What has that been like so far?
Yeah, it's been good. I think I got a chance to enjoy the race more this year with my team, and really, if there's anything that I learned about the 500 last year is that our season continues on, and we race for 36 weekends. You don't really get a chance to reflect, but when the off season comes, you get a chance to reflect on the 500, and that's kind of how it's been this year as well. Like there's so many goals and so much going on week to week just to get to the next race and try to be competitive that I really haven't taken a chance to reflect. But I think that's an amazing win for us and something that we'll get a chance to reflect on in the off season.
What is the next week like? What is that race at Atlanta like? Because I look every time I look after you've won the 500, you are on a screen, you are in a different city, you're doing this interview, this event, that event. What is Atlanta like the next week?
Yeah, I was still on a big high from the 500. I feel like I got a chance to get some rest Thursday and Friday, or really Friday night and Saturday in Atlanta. And I felt like I was in a good headspace, but still didn't feel like the race went well, but I was a little bit tired, I would say, and just exhausted from all of it. So probably not the sharpest that week, but we still had a good chance to win that race and everything. But it takes. I feel like it takes about 4 weeks to kind of get past that race and start to feel normal again.
I don't know how you could feel normal winning that thing because everybody knows who you are in the Cup Series and in motorsports. But when you win the 500, that's when the Sabrina Carpenter memes start coming out and stuff like that. What are some of the craziest things you've noticed, or just about people recognizing you and knowing who you are that didn't before you won two 500s?
Yeah, that one was up there for sure. That definitely took off. But yeah, I think just the notoriety around the country. Just being able to do cool opportunities. And the good thing this year is we've had momentum going for us. It didn't stop at the 500. We're leading the points and hopefully get a couple more wins soon. But I just feel like we picked up right where we left off last year, and that was a great way to start the year.
Yeah, you said it takes 4 weeks to settle in, but you've got the win, you've got 3 top 5s, 4 top 10s. What's working right now for you guys?
I think honestly we just picked up, like I said, we picked up where we left off last year. I think there's still some areas where we can improve. I think for us, improving on our communication throughout Saturday and Sunday to get the car dialed in for the end of the event is a big deal. And I feel like we're really close, though. It's so hard in this series to run competitive every week like we are. So that's why we're leading the points. It's just going to be a matter of kind of couple fine-tuning things. Yeah,
and when you lock that spot in early in the year, does it allow you to use this part of the year before playoffs to work on those things? How can that change the approach and the strategy, if at all?
Yeah, well, I think it changes the strategy because we can just race for wins. But honestly, we want to run well every week. It really stinks to have a bad week where you don't run competitively, and so I think the best thing you can do is just keep running well every week.
All right, hey man, I tried to change the relay fuse for my horn this morning in preparation for a NASCAR interview. It didn't work, but I picked up a couple of Band-Aids, so I won't be joining Hendrick anytime soon. But it got me thinking, like, how many times during a race would you actually like to have a horn in that Cup car to use?
It would help sometimes for sure, especially on pit road, because it's just chaotic when we get on pit road and everyone's trying to blend out together. But yeah, that'd be about the only time. Once you're on the racetrack, it's kind of, I don't think it would be any use. No one would listen.
Yeah, well, I mean, nobody hears what we say when we're in our car on like 277, but when you guys have a moment of frustration in the car on the track, in the heat of a moment, like by the time you're done with a race, you look online and it's like gone viral. What is that like to see that emotion? Like you've probably already cooled down from the race and then there you are for everybody to see.
Well, it's big this year because we have the HBO Max is doing the in-car cameras, and it's basically like an unfiltered version of what we're saying. So, you know, there's nothing that's a secret anymore. You can go back and watch the entire race on the in-car camera, which is a great tool for us as a driver, but it's also very exposing because you can just kind of hear everything that we say, and that can get you in trouble. But it's the same for everybody, so. Yeah,
I'm glad they don't have one in my car. So, especially without a horn right now. Martinsville, what's the first thing that comes to mind? You've had a lot of success there the last couple of years with wins.
Yeah, it's really been a fun track for me personally. It's kind of been hit or miss early in my career. I feel like it was a lot of miss early on, and then it started to get some races that went really well, and then I'd have some races that were not so good. So I feel like now I'm pretty consistent spring to fall, but just got to keep working and try to get that little bit better. I think we're really close.
Take me back to, I know everybody wants to talk about iRacing. I want to know, like, what is a track in iRacing that you thought you had mastered? Yeah. And you got in a Cup car and you're like, not the same. Not the same at all.
That's a good question. I think probably some of the short tracks, like I had to really change my technique when I got into the race car, and I think iRacing was a good background, but I feel like the short tracks is a very different technique and feel in the real car.
All right, you win at Martinsville, so that's 3 career, right? 2 Cup and 1 truck or Xfinity?
That's right, yeah.
So they give you a grandfather clock, like it's like, hey, thanks. What do I do with this? Where do you have 3 grandfather clocks?
Yeah, so I have one upstairs in my game room. That's like a sim room and TV room, and then I have 2 downstairs, one in my office and one in the kind of on the side of the living room. So none of them are fully operational.
I was going to say, that'd be annoying.
Yeah, none of them are operational, so I got to work on that. But yeah, it's I've heard they're really loud, and you know, so I kind of like them just staying off. But yeah,
especially if there's 3. Do you have room for a 4th?
Maybe. I definitely do. Yeah, I'll start giving away some clocks in my family at that point.
And just in terms of like the racing at Martinsville, and what's the biggest challenge that you immediately think of for setup, driving for this weekend?
Yeah, I think it's just all in the details. Like you have to get in the corner really well at Martinsville, so braking is really critical. Like having the right brake package is key, and then it's really about trying to manage it when the rubber starts to build up, and making sure that your car does what you want it to do once the rubber builds up. So you have to be you have to be fast enough to move around and make passes through lap traffic. So I think it's just those key things.
Awesome. Well, 2-time defending Daytona 500 winner, William Byron, Charlotte's own. Always good to talk to you. Always good to catch up. I know the city's super proud of you, so thanks for stopping by.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Appreciate it.